Hello, everybody. This is Marcia and Lori,
Everybody.
and we are here today with Stefanie Molina.
Hi, everybody.
She is from New York City.
New York.
New York. And Lori and I are way down here in Texas in the middle of really crazy work days. But we wanted to invite Stefanie, especially for us, this very first podcast for our If These Scrubs Could Talk. And I have been following her for a little while on social media, and we've talked a little bit over the phone. And I mean, this chick has stories, okay? We are all about the stories. So let me start with you, Stefanie. I think I heard you say that you are an architect.
Well, I'll go back a little bit. So I graduated with my architectural degree, and I went right into the industry and I started working in construction. I was in construction for about 10 years. I never went for my architecture licensing because I got pregnant in between that time. So kids kind of like, you don't have time to do all that stuff. But then I went ahead and started to change my career and I ended up going into medicine. So I graduated from a medical assisting program about 10 years ago, and I've been a medical assistant since. And now I have transitioned into nursing school. This is my second go. And I, crossing my fingers, will finish this time next year with my BSN. So yay. Yeah. So it's been very, very busy. But yeah, like we've been talking before, we happened to meet up on YouTube, and she actually commented on one of my YouTube links, and it was on one of my episodes that I had for If These Scrubs Can Talk podcast as well. So that's how we met, and we've been talking ever since. So it's really happy to be invited here, and I'm excited to what we could talk about. I'm super excited. I was just I'm halfway through the book, Nursing Homes, and a lot of stories. You think I have stories? Your stories are a little bit more well, a little bit better than mine, but so far like a really great story. So I told a couple of my friends of mine to purchase those on Kindle, and they were like, "Oh, Steph, these books are good." And I was like, "I know, go get more. They're coming out with more stuff." She's like, "Oh, this is so cool." So I'm super excited that I'm able to be here with you guys today.
We appreciate that. And I like to design my own book covers. And so the two behind me are the upcoming books. But even the reason I got to the call lights, If These Scrubs Could Talk, stories of the unexpected. It was scrolling through Canva and finding the call light button, that one picture with the man and the call light button with the nurse hat. I thought, oh, there are some stories there. So I'm going to tell you, I've spoken with another person, not on a podcast, but I interviewed another lady. And I told her about our new book title. So she said, I have a story of something unexpected. She was a corporate RN, and she was in a facility. Call lights were going off. This was her kind of pet peeve, so she knew the other staff was busy, so she wasn't mad. She just needed to go answer the call light, right? She goes into the room where the call light's going off, and the lady's there. The call light's right by her hand. She's standing by the bed, and she's dead. She stopped breathing. Her heart had stopped beating, and she was standing dead.
So your stories are way better than mine. Mine are trivial.
But it gets even better because she started CPR. She got her down to the floor, started CPR, broke her sternum, and she went with, she shouted out to people, they called 911. For some reason, I can't remember what town she said she was in, Lori, but she was rural, and whatever ambulance they had a driver, they had somebody that didn't really want to do the CPR, didn't know how to do the CPR. So she continued to do the CPR all the way to the hospital. And the lady actually lived with a broken sternum. But I thought,
Wow.
yeah, I was like, wow, that's a great first story. So really ever know what's going to be at the end of the call light.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I have like PTSD because of the call lights. I mean, even in my internships, like working in the hospital, I'm like, I hear it, I hear it constantly beeping, and I'm like, oh my god, we have to address it. So I'm like always looking like this for the call lights.
So do you hear them in your sleep?
I do. I
Yeah.
hear them in my sleep. Absolutely.
You mentioned that you gotten partway through our first book, and there's the story in there about the time I delivered mail. And I am not clinical. Okay. So I'm a nursing home administrator. I've been a social worker. I've been an activity director, worked in nursing homes since 1986. And Lori started when?
1990 or 91.
And you started as a CNA or an LVN?
LVN.
LVN. It was in 1999 that we met. So you'd been there 9 years or 8 years. I went from, as a social worker, I completed my administrator training. I had taken my boards, and this is back in the old days. So you take your boards in January, you get your results in April. And you have to take national and state board. And so I'd taken my boards, I needed a job. So I went to, and they needed a social worker. That was me not ever being clinical. That was where I was innocently delivering mail.
Wow.
Did you read the story about Yosemite Sam?
No, I have not.
You have not. Okay.
I have not.
Well, we're down here in Texas, and we had this little guy. Now you do know who Yosemite Sam is, don't you, Stefanie?
The little cowboy from
Yeah, right. Okay. Bugs Bunny and
Bugs Bunny. Yeah.
yes. This guy was the human version of Yosemite Sam. Okay. Cowboy hat, and he had the talk, and he was a little short guy, and he just swaggered, I was delivering mail to his room one day. I knocked on the door. He said, "Come in." And I did. And he had nothing on but his cowboy hat. And that's when I realized that women are not the only gender that sags when they get older.
Oh boy. Yosemite Sam.
Different when you're not, not clinical. It's just different. It's like this shouldn't be happening right now. So Stefanie, talk to me about Greece.
Awesome. So this time last year, I was invited to be an assistant or a volunteer for the medical outreach program. With this particular program, this focuses on helping refugees and children from different areas, but it's from a particular area in Athens, Greece, where there is a refugee area that's right across from a jail. So yeah, that was kind of weird, kind of being, just kind of thrown into this kind of situation where you have a military base, you have a jail, and then you have a refugee camp. So, I was selected last year to participate in that, and we did a little bit of training. We did wound care. We did just an overall understanding of how to communicate and how to be able to kind of deal with being in this sad situation, because this is really what it was. It was like a really sad situation. It was very it's very different. Something I was never used to. I mean, I've been used to volunteering into other areas, drug addiction and sometimes working in a psych ward, but it was like this is a whole completely different area for me. So it was very interesting to volunteer for that. And we were out there for 17 days in the hot sun, trying to do activities. We did artwork, and the organization that I went with was called Love Without Borders. This organizations, they help provide apartments, they help provide artwork, furniture, monetary funds, anything that they can do to kind of alleviate some of the stress that some of these refugees have to go through. And they also help with like doing paperwork, or if they're trying to get documents or anything like that. This particular organization helps with that. So I was lucky enough to be part of that. The crew that I was training with, that I did a presentation, they just left on Friday. So they're out there, they're doing a lot of great things, and they're doing the same thing I'm doing, so they've been doing this. The organization's been doing this for 10 years. And I was just lucky to get, picked last year to do it. So it was really super fun for me. Very
That's all.
emotional too. Yeah, very emotional too, because as a mom myself, I saw, children with really not much, not having enough diapers, enough clothes, enough food supplies. It was like it was really tough to be in that situation, to see it myself. But it's necessary to have volunteers that that are out there to help in any way that they can. So definitely that's something that's near and dear to me, to do something like that as a service. So that was really
That's
great for me.
awesome. So that
Yeah.
I'm just want to clarify. So this was this part of your curriculum? Is this part of your?
No.
Okay,
No,
just
it's completely separate. It just
okay.
so happens that the professor who organizes was one of the professors at the college, and she was running this particular program where she's been running it for 10 years. It's separate from the college, in a sense of like they really don't give like funding or anything like that, but they help in terms of like giving a space for training, or, but it's completely separate from the college. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's awesome. First of all, you mentioned artwork. And I was curious because I think you said that they were giving the refugees an opportunity to do some of this art.
So, yeah, so with Love with Borders, what they do is they have donations, anything that they can collect, paint, paint boards, brushes, the canvases and things like that. So, there is a base in Greece where there is an art front, like a storefront, not a storefront, but it's a space where they do the artwork, and they sell the actual artwork, so that any of the artists um that actually do the paintings, they get sold online, and then those donations go both to other refugees, or to the families who have participated in the artwork, or it goes straight to the individual. So any of those donations, they go straight to them. So this is like a really great opportunity for them to kind of make their own earnings and make their own living through their artwork. So, but this huge gallery space is usually there to for the children, that they can do artwork, they do playtime, they watch movies, they sit down and have discussions, they have speakers, they have mealtime together. So this space is like unilateral. So they have different uses for this particular gallery that's run by the Love Without Borders organization. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really amazing on so many levels because it's actually therapeutic for them to
Very.
just do
Yeah.
the art, and then there's that creativity that need in us to create sometimes, and we don't even necessarily recognize it all the time. We a lot of times just go through our day, push it down. We don't really do it. It's not till we sit down and actually do something
Yeah. Yeah.
that was like, oh wow, this is thrilling.
This is great. Yeah, I was able to witness some of the younger artists showing some of their pictures back home, and some of these pictures were not necessarily happy. Some of them had different decorations of, barbed wire. Some had explosions. Others have people and men in uniform. So it's like a lot of different things that it is therapeutic, but a lot of the paintings weren't necessarily always happy. Not until they went into Greece. So Greece, they had like different pictures like the sun and playing with the ball and going to the beach and having a big meal. So you'll see like different pictures that that dictate that. But yeah, many of the artwork doesn't really it's therapeutic. That's where
Right.
the focus is. Yeah, for sure. It's very
Yeah, well, it
therapeutic.
is. It's therapeutic. It's expressive of what they've
Yeah,
experienced.
yeah.
And it probably, needs to be seen and heard and watched and acknowledged. So we'll get a link to that website and add it to our podcast
Absolutely, absolutely.
at the end of this. And so people can go online and purchase and help.
Yeah, they can purchase whatever artwork is available. You can have the link that goes directly into Love Without Borders.
Okay, great.
They have all the artwork on display, and yeah, it's just a great organization. I can get you in touch with Kira Martinez, who is the director and the organizer of Love Without Borders. So it's an amazing organization. They do great work, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to participate this year, but I'm looking to hope maybe I could do it next year.
Right.
But the point is to kind of just to continue with volunteering, whether it's at home or abroad, but
Uh-huh.
still try to see if you can still volunteer. And getting into the nursing, getting into health field, that's always been my thing. It was always trying to be a service. So that's definitely my goal for that, for sure.
Awesome. So getting into nursing and healthcare. Yeah, so you say you've been to school before. You've gone back to school,
I'm going
4 year
back to school.
degree,
Yep.
and you work construction.
I was in construction for about 10 years after I graduated. And then I went directly into healthcare right after that. It was around the same time as Sandy happened. Hurricane Sandy was like a huge, like
Yeah.
big storm that kind of messed things up, I guess, in a sense of
Right.
yeah, for a little bit. So, and then we had so many different you know things that happening all at the same time. So then I went into healthcare, and I've been in it ever since.
Really,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm just kind of doing a correlation between construction and
There
healthcare.
isn't any.
No, actually, I think there is. I mean, well, you would know better than I do, but I'm just thinking about it because we just had Kerrville flood down in
Oh,
Carr County in Texas, right?
yeah. Heard County. Yeah, I heard about that.
My husband's his band has performed down there before, and a couple of times at a motorcycle rally. My husband's a computer geek, but he plays a mean rock guitar. Okay.
Interesting. Interesting.
And they have a bikers rally, Christian bikers rally, or they used to every year down in Kerrville. But it's a beautiful place. And so a lot of people that I've been, just sharing, there's a lot of sadness down here. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can kind of see, I remember, the storm and when it happened. And so that was,
It just happened so quickly. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so much
It happened
damage.
down here 2009, I believe. 2009. It
2010.
completely flooded New York City. Like we were literally underwater, and it was just so many things happened. So many. Oh, my mother-in-law lost her house, and it was a lot going on down here around that time, Hurricane Sandy. So I can't even fathom what's going on in Texas. It's been in the news for the last couple of weeks. So many, it's just so sad just to hear some of the stories. Is really, really sad. But then it's just, what can we do? You feel helpless in a sense.
Right. Well, and I think that's where I believe construction and nursing come together,
Right.
because
Absolutely.
when you have an event like that, it's all about fixing what's broken,
Yeah.
cleaning what's filthy.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
I didn't even think about that.
and restoring.
I didn't even think about it in that sense. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see that. And it's like, because that's very much what's going on down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure, you know, in New York as well when that happened. And
Yeah.
so I think there's some similarities there. So because of your interest and what you learned through Love Without Borders, what are your plans after you graduate? Or is there any that may not have anything to do with Love Without Borders? You tell me.
Well, for right now, I was just added to, well, not added, I was like invited to be part of the Student Nursing Association club at the college. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work closely with the president, and the president, who has like a really close relationship with the other professor who has been working closely with the Love Without Borders. Our goal was really to kind of work with them and other organizations through volunteer work, through church work. Um, the other the president of the Nursing Student Association Club, she worked with like 3 different churches, and she's worked with like donating diapers and donating lotions and things like that. So she started to do something locally and work along with Love Without Borders. So we've been continuing with the volunteer on all aspects. So after we graduate, yes, after we graduate, finish school first. I think that's the first thing.
It'll happen.
But
It'll
yeah,
happen.
yeah, it will happen. I'm just it's taking longer than I expected. But no, but we've been really focusing on continuing with working with different organizations and seeing how we can be helpful. Anything that we could do to kind of continue to pay it forward. That's how I've always, I like to lead in life. So this was just kind of something that just was natural for me, I guess, because I've been volunteering all my life. So this was just kind of something different where I didn't do it home. I did more abroad. So,
Right.
but my goals is to still continue with volunteering, however I can help that. But I'm excited to see what she has in store for this organization, for the Student Nurse Association program,
Yeah.
because she's kind of the leader for that, and I kind of
Mhm.
just follow. I'm like, hey, tell me where to sign up. so, so I'm there. So
Well, there's a lot of, I mean, there's so many different ways
yeah,
we can reach out and help people because it's a hurting world on a lot of levels.
absolutely,
Uh,
I agree.
Tell me a little bit more about your If These Scrubs Could Talk podcast, your whole platform. What are your goals and plans for that?
Absolutely. So, If These Scrubs Can Talk podcast is a platform for nursing students, anybody in healthcare. What we try to do is trying to help with the journey, trying to tell you it's okay. I guess coming from different sides I guess from the education platform, I would have to say, I'm going back to school. I'm an older student. It's a different experience for me as opposed to someone that's graduated right out of high school.
Right.
So myself and my co-host, we come from completely 2 different worlds, but we happen to just be, I guess, best classmates. We find each other on a different level. We relate on a different level, and it's just very refreshing to seeing that. Hey, I might be a little bit older, but I can still relate on some level. So, it's usually about our struggles in nursing school. How can we help with tutoring? We try to focus on different subjects. How do we go about focusing on picking the best study time or the best study groups and things like that. So it's really about helping and being a platform and be a resource for other nursing students and others in healthcare, because it's that nursing, not only nursing students. We can help on any platform, but we have fun stories to tell as we
I bet.
to share.
Yeah.
But it's really a platform to kind of like educate, kind of advocate, and really be responsible, not be responsible, but kind of like respond to like all the trends that are happening, nursing news, nursing um like changes in jobs, and how to perfect a great interview. How do you go about performing in that, not a performance, but like how would you go about doing that, doing a great interview. So those are the things that's for our platform that we've been really trying to focus on. So It's been
That's awesome.
amazing. It's been amazing so far. But I mean, we got caught up in school, so you know.
I know. That's my problem is work keeps getting in the way of
Right.
of my my hopes and dreams. And
No, but
Lori's
there's always
got
time for it. You always make time. Look, we made time for each other right now, and I think this is
yeah, we
a
did.
great
We did.
opportunity to do so. I mean, it might take a little bit of our time, but I think it's um, a spent amount of time for me.
Yes, I agree. And I think it's really cool. I mentioned to Stephanie on our when we were kind of just talking on her YouTube channel that you know, Lori and I and Judy, we're really looking for retirement. We are moving our way out of this, okay? and um and her group is coming in.
Yeah, we're basically we're the fresh meat coming in, the newbies.
Well, yeah. Yeah. You will be grilled and barbecued and smoked
Yep,
by
I've
the time
been
you get
told. I mean,
done.
it's not like I haven't been there. I mean, I've done some of my internships already and some of my
Right.
runs in hospitals, and I've already gotten a taste of what it is. So
Gotten
yeah.
a taste. Yeah. So it's to me, it's like shift change.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So you know, we are if these scrubs could talk too. And honestly, I swear to God, I never saw your podcast before I wrote my first book. We wrote our book was published almost a year ago. It was August 3rd or 4th. And I didn't even really if these scrubs could talk was just an afterthought, you know.
Yeah.
It was nursing homes if these scrubs could talk.
Right.
But then it was like, what a tagline, because how many of us wear scrubs? You
Oh,
know, I mean, we
so
got
many.
housekeepers, we got dietary workers, we got
So many. So many.
CNAs and
CNAs,
yeah,
LPNs,
med
so
aides,
many.
doctors and
Doctors, so many.
practitioners, and I mean, just therapists, you know,
So many.
veterinarians and their staff, and dentists and their, you know, I mean,
The
we,
list goes on
it goes
and
on and
on and
on.
on. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so that was when I thought, well, you know, we had considered, it was always intended to be kind of a chicken soup for the soul style book where people would contribute their stories. Lori and I and Judy wrote the first book. Those were all our stories, and we will contribute to future books. But that tagline, if these scrubs could talk, just it seemed like, okay, well, we need to add that to every book. And then I bump into another if these scrubs could talk on social media. And it's like, oh, well, I don't know. But I just started watching and listening, and I am just so impressed, and you know, feel like I'm proud to share
Oh,
that.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, it
And
was
I think,
a lot of time to get into this and kind of to invest. And we started in August too.
did you really?
I swear to God, started in August too, because
That's
we
awesome.
finished school in June, and then we started the project in August. Like we got everything and we had our first recording in August. It was so funny in the
That
beginning
is
of
amazing.
yeah.
I love it. Well, we'll just kind of hang together because now, so when people go on looking for either one of us, they'll just have to recognize that they need to check out both
Both.
of us.
Both of them.
And that, yeah, they can't miss.
No.
If they if these scrubs could talk, they're gonna be, yeah. But I wanted to, especially since this is our very first podcast, and Lori is out of the picture, and I'll tell you why. She is working right now. She works from home, but there are so many things going on, and she oversees, I don't even know how many nursing homes, but they are in the middle of a lot of stuff, and they are needing her a lot of attention right now.
Absolutely.
And I'm just starting mine. Well, it's a facility that I've been in. This will be my third time. One time I've been there 8 years, but this was the one that had the fire, and the fire stories in the book. And also the hurricane story. So this was Lori and Judy going down to help a receiving facility
Oh, wow. Okay.
take the patients from, the facility that was in danger.
Wow.
And even then, it was just so crazy stories, crazy
Yeah.
experiences, and things you don't think about. So unless you have gone through them. Anyway, there are many things I think we could talk about again in the future. I would love to have you back on.
Same.
And but I am lifting up my sister Stefanie here to you, so check her out, especially if you're a student or considering nursing, or check me out too for that one.
Absolutely.
But I think that it is just encouraging to me, because a lot of us that have kind of been through it, and we went through COVID, we're tired. And
Yeah.
and it was, you mentioned fresh meat, and I kind of think, I think a lot of people still are going into nursing, but we have such a crisis of a shortages.
There is. Yeah. I
Part of
think,
that,
yeah, I think it's just a weird dynamic, because many stories that I've read and trying to do research is that they're saying that there's not a shortage. It said that there's an issue with management. So it's just like, uh, that could be a mix of things. It could be a mix of many things. I'm not sure, because I'm not there yet. So I haven't experienced it. But the only thing that I've experienced is, as a medical student, I've been having difficulty getting hired because of my full-time status at school. And I can't be at both places at the same time. So,
right.
going to the hospital setting in 2 days a week, going to school 3 days a week. And then I'm still trying to find a part-time job. They don't want part-time. Everybody wants full-time, full-time, full-time. So it's hard for me to fill those gaps. But hopefully, that's not the concern when I graduate and I'm out looking for work, or, so
Well,
that's,
I don't think it will be.
yeah, that's
And
my hope. Yeah.
yeah, I
That's the
guarantee
hope.
you. Okay, I guarantee you that there's a nursing home around there that would hire you PRN.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
Maybe two. And then that way you can kind of choose, like, okay, I can't work for you on Thursday, but I can work for this one on
For
Wednesday.
that one. Right. Okay. Hopefully.
Okay.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Hospitals are a little,
Yeah.
they're hard to get into.
They are.
Um,
Especially if they have any union, or if they're not unionized. So yeah, that's I've been hearing a lot of stories. It's been difficult to getting into that. The private setting is where to go. I've been hearing about a lot about concierge nursing, where go to patients' homes that don't want to go into nursing homes.
yeah.
I've heard that as well, and I was like, I don't know where the market is for that, but a lot of things are changing with insurance policies and how insurance is being given, and I don't know. It's nursing. I think it gives you the dynamic that you can go into any specialty, and then you can go into any field of it's just so many different flexibilities in
You
nursing.
have
So
so much, yeah,
so
so
I
many places.
so many places to go. So it's just like, I'm being flexible. I'm keeping an open mind. We always have to focus on foundation. Your foundations will always get you to where you need to go. And that's why I hope to, on this podcast, to kind of like alleviate that and say, hey, listen, we got to know the basics.
Right.
Yeah, before we start anything else, we got to start the basics. Communication, effective communication, therapeutic communication, and professionalism. That's where I like to start my foundations at. So,
Right.
so I think I
Right.
carry that from my architectural side.
Well,
like,
sure.
you know what I mean. So that helped
Attention
me a
to
lot.
detail and recognizing, yeah, every cog, has its in the wheel has its purpose and need.
Absolutely.
The, but I do agree with you. I think with nursing, you can focus on any age group, any particular type of specialty, honestly, specialty, that you're interested in, or if you decide, hey, I don't want all that real people.
Yeah, sometimes bedside is not for every nurse.
It's not
It's
for
not.
everybody.
It's not for everybody, and that's okay too.
There's
You know,
plenty
and
of paperwork. There's
plenty
plenty
to
of
do.
paperwork for you to do as a nurse.
Plenty,
You know,
plenty
so-
of work for
right.
everyone.
I really appreciate you, and just look forward to talking again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast today. It's I'm excited. I'm the first guest, first of the many that you will have. And guys, continue if you have an opportunity, go and read the book. The book is awesome. I'm halfway through it. It's a lot of stories. It will get you prepared for nursing school. I promise you.
Yeah,
And I got mine from Amazon, so you guys can go
that's about
check
the
that
only
out.
place you can get it.
That's it. That's where I got mine.
Okay. Well, we'll add some links to this video, and then we will talk again soon.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Stefanie.
Thank you so much.